buddy? We're here today to talk about the king. Do you remember that incredible speech to Arlong back in Arlong Park? Not that one, though that one is incredible too, and very worthy of discussion. I'm talking about the other one. You remember? The speech I'm referring to is the one where Luffy, with his whole chest might I add, lists everything that he can't do, but then places emphasis and value on the one thing that he can do. And that's what I want to talk about today. So put on your good old cargo shorts. It's time to look back on one of Luffy's most iconic speeches. There's a running gag in One Piece that never fails to make me laugh, especially when it's the comedic trio together doing their usual shenanigans, and then out of nowhere, Luffy with stargazed eyes states, "Sugoi!" As someone who's made an entire YouTube channel about yelling "Sugoi!" at the best-selling manga in history, I appreciate these kinds of scenes. Think of me as Bartolomeo, except the barriers I put up are invisible, and instead of deflecting cannonballs like our lovable green-haired One Piece fanboy, my barriers serve to deflect spoilers. Because if my observation hockey isn't strong enough to dodge them, then the barrier will be able to deflect them. Now isn't that really Sugoi? Wait for it. Sugoi! One of my favorite things about this gag is that it fits perfectly with the personalities of the comedy trio. Their childlike imaginations run wild on these seas, which is why Usopp, who has told lies and stories about things that are so grand and hard to believe, when the very same things he lied about turn out as possibilities, this allows him to contract his "I can't go on this island or I'll die" disease. And Chopper, in his admiration for these incredible pirates, ends up believing everything that he hears, from the stories that they tell of their incredible adventures, and those who do whatever they please. But what about Luffy? We know him to be the embodiment of freedom, always seeking out new and interesting things to discover and experience, really driving home the romance of adventure. What I find fascinating about this in Luffy's case is that we get to see how he also finds other people and the things they say and do to have a big part in this feeling of adventure as well. His arsenal of moves being inspired by things he's seen before that left an impact on him is something that I absolutely adore about Luffy's fighting style. The fact that he takes inspiration from something like a pinwheel to use in his moveset further enforces the fact that it doesn't have to be the coolest or the strongest thing ever for Luffy to find value in it. When he recruits members into his crew, specifically the East Blue crew for the purposes of this video, he recruits them all because he found something in each of them that only they can do, that he feels can further help him in his pursuit to be king. I love this so much. And the reason why I love it so much is that a leader should never ask anyone who follows him to do anything that they themselves wouldn't do. Obviously, there are going to be many times where you have and should do something out of your comfort zone in order to discover new things and experiences. But having your main focus being on the thing that you enjoy doing most, and having people to support you in that endeavor, allows you a sense of freedom that's second to none. So the fact that Zoro can use swords, that Nami can navigate, that Usopp can lie, and that Sanji can cook, Luffy finds incredible because he can't do any of those things. And yet he completely accepts that. He stays in his own lane and focuses only on what he can do. This is a moment that gives me as the reader an opportunity to reflect on my own life, and all of the times I found myself wishing I could be better in certain areas. And because of that, this speech has become very special to me over the years. It's something that I can apply in areas of my career, and most certainly here on YouTube. With all of the incredible content creators on this platform, especially here in the One Piece community, it's easy to get lost in thoughts like, do I even belong with such a talented group of people? What kind of value could I possibly bring that others don't? And that's when the beauty of this speech really shines through. There is something of value that only you can bring forth. Just look at your boy. I can't edit, I can't summarize, I can't upload in 1080p, I can't criticize, and I can barely analyze. But the one thing I can do is have fun talking about my favorite stories ever put to paper. How awesome is it that a moment that can make a reader feel all of that takes place within the first 100 chapters of a now 1,000 chapter story? Luffy's had a lot of character defining moments, and way more moments that are more important to the story as a whole, but this one will always be special due to it being one of the first. Oda established exactly who Luffy is in the East Blue Saga, and in an arc filled with Luffy is the GOAT moments, this one has stood the test of time as a standout moment that showcases exactly who our captain is. Straw Hat, Monkey D. Luffy.